So here we are in section 7.2, Imperial Christian Architecture and Art in Rome. This is where we move into the 300s and 400s. Christianity is now in a position of power in Rome, and that will affect its development. In these centuries, Saint Jerome translates the Bible from Hebrew and Greek into Latin, the language of the Romans. This is a print by Albrecht Dürer, one of the great artists of the 1500s, whom we'll be studying later this semester. And he's depicting St. Jerome bent over, working hard on his translations. Latin, the language of the Romans, is going to remain the language of the Catholic Church until the 1960s. Here in the beginning of the section, the textbook chapter helps you understand Christianity's new authority. And then, as it moves to the next paragraph, it is taking you into a major topic that's going to have huge significance for us across the semester: architecture. Sure, I guarantee you will turn out to be one of the most interesting, exciting, and fun topics that you study in this class. But at first, it's going to feel overwhelming because you have to begin by swallowing and digesting a mouthful of vocabulary. I'm going to try to help you adjust to that vocabulary. Here on this page, we're looking at figure 710 to understand the building Old St. Peter's, the church building that was so significant and then was torn down, as you learned in the video. So the textbook here is giving you a plan of the building. Plan is an architectural term for an architectural drawing that shows the footprint of the building. So it's part of the standard vocabulary you want to know when you look at this kind of diagram. And it's helping you to focus on the layout of space. So you see this is a basilica, as the video introduced, and at the center you have a nave, the central rectangular longitudinal space. And you have aisles on the side running parallel. In this case, 2 of them on either side. A new important term here, transept. We also have a rectangular space going this way, going perpendicular to the nave, which is obviously very deliberate because it's forming the shape of a cross. The building is symbolically and literally a cross. And then at the here you have what's called the apse. The apse is a kind of curved space to frame the altar. This little square here designates where the altar, the holiest spot, is placed. And the apse gives it a kind of breathing room. It sort of focuses it the way that the niche focuses the Torah scrolls in a synagogue. But it also will come to be referred to often as the chevet, the pillow for the head of Jesus. This paragraph right here is a chunky, chewy vocabulary granola bar. Let's look at some of the terms that are going to make it feel hard to read, feel unwelcoming. If you come down here, they say columns supporting an entablature lined the nave, forming what is called a nave colonnade. Let's look down here at figure 711. Entablature means this part of the wall that rests on the columns and goes up to the space below the windows. A colonnade is a row of columns. So here the entablature is flat, but over here you actually have arches on the columns, and that's going to be called an arcade. Next, the textbook takes you to a different model of a Christian church, the central plan building, known as, this particular one is known as Santa Costanza. And they help you analyze the different design of the round central plan building with this plan, this architectural plan, showing you the altar at the center, the aisle going around, and the central space is a rotunda. And then they show you a view that's called a section, which is the architectural term for a diagram of a building that cuts through it like slicing a slice of cake. And this allows you to see it vertically. One of the big points of this diagram, this section view, is that you can see the vertical axis moving from the altar right here, vertically up as if toward heaven. One of the reasons you want to learn this architecture well is that it will be massively important in our next chapter when we study this breathtaking building, the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. It is one of the most famous architectural wonders of the world, sacred to both Christianity and Islam, and its innovative design comes out of the architectural tradition you are studying now.